We're in Bath. We just had a weird experience, but you'll see that later on in the video. And we're just going to do Central, aren't we? It's cold.
I've got a particularly ginger beard today. I must shave.
I got this theory that when Austin's beard is really ginger, it means he's happy. So
like a what is it? Moodstone?
Like a mood ring.
Mood ring. Yeah.
So you're in for a good one today if Austin's in a ginger beard mood. We're in Bath. It's official.
B-A-T-H.
It is day 7 billion. At this point, we're no longer counting days. We're just counting the seconds we get of sleep at night. And when I say seconds, I mean milliseconds. On our way to the charity shop, which is my favourite in Bath.
Look at it.
There's a fridge shop. And this is the Dolce & Gabbana Smeg. And we thought we'd leave that in just for fun. They also have some really nice coffee machines. But that is the resale on Dolce & Gabbana Smeg. So if you ever come across them, be sure to resell
If you ever see them in charity shops for a tenner, pick one up.
No, but it's the sort of thing that you would get dumpster diving because it's got a broken tray or something. It's
I'm not sure you would at all. But
they retail for 10 grand, but the resale is very high for obvious reasons.
They do limited editions like every now and then, so just be aware.
Be on the lookout.
Fridge buyers.
Anyone into white goods?
White good resellers. That's got to be a thing, isn't it?
It's got to be a thing. And there's high-end fridges. Anyway,
ooh, that's pretty.
It's beautiful, but it was. I looked it up and I spent some time looking it up, but it appears that it is a independent brand, or I say homemade, but like a very niche independent.
Batch made, like almost, yeah.
To the men's, because we're with Austin, so we go straight to the men's.
Ooh.
Paul Smith blazer. I call this wide pinstripe. It may have an official title, but that's what I call it. £25. I just sold a Paul Smith blazer with a moth hole in it. I say that because I sold it for £65.
With a moth hole?
With a moth hole.
And that was made in Italy. The made in Italy blazers are the most special.
Yeah, you want the actual, the Paul Smith. Not PS by Paul Smith does well also, but Paul Smith does the best. It's mainline.
All Paul Smith sells well, but the actual, like you say, just the Paul Smith, no other words, no other branding, just Paul Smith is the best. These are Alexander McQueen by Puma, or Puma by Alexander McQueen. There was quite a few different shoes they did in this collab, a few different seasons. And to be honest with you, we've sold a few in our time. Truthfully, they don't actually sell for a lot, surprisingly enough.
I think it's the worst selling collab of all time. I feel like they collabed before collabs.
Yeah, I agree.
Before big trainer collabs, and it just, there isn't...
Which some of them are pretty cool, though.
These are 35 quid,
These look like bones, like the Puma sign is like bones.
Yeah, that's what they do on purpose.
And I don't think they'll go for much more than that on eBay.
No, unfortunately.
If you're lucky.
I think, the prices vary. If you're willing to wait, then there's a little bit of money in it, but I wouldn't sink £35 in. What are you going to tell us about this watch hat?
Great watch brand. And once again, any kind of hats or jackets or polo shirts or anything clothing or accessories from watch brands always sells well. That was brand new, like $7.99. Probably about 25-30 in that. Mm-hmm. Maybe a little bit more. What's this?
Depop are good for things like that. So Austin has been dying to buy some wool-overs. Honestly, dying to buy some wool-overs. And I won't let him, basically. That's it. And I'm
laughing because it's true.
It's true. We came across this. It's cashmere wool blend, so I gave in. It has got like these sort of like ridged geometric buttons.
For anyone
which
listening,
add a bit of dimension.
Just take pity on me. Go find it in our store, buy it, or message us and say you love it because it's amazing. Buy it. We'll do you an amazing deal just to prove Bethany wrong.
It's It was £5.
You can have it for £6 as long as I'm making profit.
I think it has a listing value of about 25 to 30. Hopefully, we fingers crossed. This is Christian Lecroix.
No, it's Christian Lacroix, sweetie.
Lacroix, sweetie. It's all right, isn't it? I see what you did there. Bazaar. I love the Bazaar range, which is mainly knits. It sells really well. That piece was overpriced for resale, but it is a great brand and category brand.
Very like mental, like Jean-Paul Gaultier, like 90s,
fabulous,
year 2000s.
This is Hugo Boss. If anyone knows, you know that I can't stand Hugo Boss. However, the tailoring of that dress was sensational.
Immaculate. It was amazing.
It was £25, so we wouldn't have picked it up. However, I just wanted to highlight that it was lovely.
Okay.
Hugo Boss doesn't do badly. Hugo Boss actually does really well.
It's
and
just you personally don't enjoy it. That's what you're saying.
I have personal vendettas against a few brands, and because
for no apparent
of that,
reason for your,
and that's okay. That's
you
okay.
like what you like.
I found this dress earlier, and I was just showing Austin. It was £8. It was by this
Antipodium.
brand, and it had a really nice beading, a flower power beading thing. And it was like a mod sort of fitted tailored dress. Comp seemed pretty good. I mean, retail's very good. It was mainly a vestiaire. Resale sort of like what's the word? The comps for resale was
higher.
Was aiming at vestiaire.
Yeah.
There wasn't much sold on eBay, which is, you know, it's not red flag central, but we have some flags and they are red. This was an Isabel for H&M. I don't do a lot of buy a lot of the H&M collabs unless it's Balmain, Versace, Kenzo, any of the big ones, but like
Margiela, stuff like that.
Yeah, but
that's
that
a vibe.
was a nice
What's that?
hat.
Paul and Joe.
This is Paul and Joe. I love Paul and Joe. It's a double-breasted sort of wool.
That is really
coat.
nice.
It was £55.
For yourself, if you're buying for yourself, that's lovely though. It was lapelless.
Yes, my only issue was, because I'm such a fashion snob, is it had a TK Maxx marker on it.
They look like they're going or coming from yoga.
Yes. TK Maxx marker on it. So it was a TK Maxx outlet piece.
I'm with you.
I just left this in because I thought it was hilarious. Austin doing his Christmas shopping. Because apparently he needs more than 3 of these watches.
No.
And then I also left me in the other window because it's just funny.
Keep walking. I keep walking.
I'm in the mood for a rainbow diamond tennis bracelet.
Bargain.
I actually thought the price was very good on.
They were actually considering. Yeah. Well, yeah, they were.
If you ever fancy just a bit of fun, you can go and look in Mallory's window in Bath.
They're fun.
It's great joy.
The lights were cool, though, to see for a change.
It's nice. So we come across, this is Margaret and Dorothy, it's one of them. They had a hat in the window. Anyone who knows me knows I'm partial to a headpiece. This was Mulberry, and I could just tell by the size, I could tell by the height, I could tell by the construction.
She wouldn't even let me get out the window because she knew she loved it so much.
Yes, but it was too much for a Mulberry hat. I was working in Mulberry for a long time. Mulberry are not known for hats. They use a third-party company to produce their hats, and the hats aren't where the hats are at.
No, I agree.
£85 is not. There's no margin in it.
That hat worth-wise is probably like a £50 hat. And like to pay 85 in a charity shop is madness. I agree.
Yeah.
That was a cool feeler piece. Honestly, just trying to stay away from a lot of like more like what I call old school, like retro vintage. I like this certain piece I fall in love with. That's just not one of them. And the only bits I sell really on Depop, I have to enjoy.
Yes. Mulberry 90s tie. Nice. £15.
Done. Nice.
£15. This was a Stella McCartney old label cashmere blend sort of
like an overcoat.
A-line. I call them doll coats.
I know what you mean. With the pleating, yeah. The only once again, I say this all the time, the only thing was, this was like, it doesn't look, I don't know if you get it on camera or not, it wasn't heavy. We bought one of these a couple months ago in navy, I think, but not this same jacket, but it was like 3-4 times the weight. This is a light piece. You can tell by the stitching and kind of how the stitching is going, it's light. And also it was faded the heck and back, and it was still like 30 odd quid.
It was £30.
Just as regards resale, like you'll get a few quid for it, but it's one of those ones you know you're going to get back, or someone's going to return and say, oh, it was faded, or the pictures, blah, blah, blah.
You know, isn't there? I probably would have picked it up. I'm not going to lie to you if it was a bit cheaper. However,
a £30, no way, Jose.
Okay, you're feeling passionate about that one, Austin.
Yeah, like I just think sometimes people see brands and charge stupid money.
Yes, well,
I love a poster.
That would be me.
Yeah.
Austin loves a poster. We've done really well with posters. All right, this sounds bizarre because we are the luxury pickers. However, we are prone to some sort of like music related, art related, culture related. What's the word? Merchandise.
Yes, I know what you mean. That was actually, the other ones were just random posters. This one was an art, it was a gallery poster from like 1984, 1983, which was kind of cool. And some of those things do well, even reprints. This isn't a reprint, this is actually from 84, 83, or whatever it was. But they do really, really well. Specifically, I know this sounds really random, is a lot of the French stuff. I don't know why, I'm not like an expert remotely in that field.
Because it's that mid-century design.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
I think it fits in nicely with that.
Speaking of mid-century design, Bethany?
This is a cute candy dish. This is Anthropology. It was £4. It said mistletoe kisses in it.
And Bethany liked it.
I'm a massive, ginormous, humongous Scrooge. And so I thought that contradicted the whole vibe, and I like a bit of contradiction as much as I like being a Scrooge.
This is Men's Whistles.
Men's Whistles does really well.
Who knew Men's and Whistles?
Yeah, £25, a bit pricey, especially for whistles. However, I wanted to demonstrate Men's Whistles, and that Men's Whistles is nice whistles. And you can pick it up and make money. This is Sweaty Betty, also a tiny bit overpriced. I'm showing you things that we didn't pick up as well in this video, just from the basis that I probably would have picked them up if they were a little bit less money.
Or if you really want to go to Bath and just buy some really nice things for a lot cheaper than the shops would charge.
Yeah, I wanted to show Sweaty Betty. Sweaty Betty isn't flying out at the moment, but I think there are too many black pairs of leggings in the world.
Wait for January, baby, when people get on it. Right now, people are fattening her, and that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it.
I'll be back on the celery in January.
Come see me in January. No, I think generally, I think that is the way of the world, isn't it? Like, January, everyone's like, all of a sudden, people are running, like, the day after Boxing Day.
Yeah,
you know
100%.
What I mean? I'm not at all, but some people do.
January 1st. We're back on it. Anyway, that was 100% merino wool, and it was just a nice turtleneck with a curved hem. So there would be a premium pricage on that piece because it has something to it.
It's not your usual kind of cotton or latex or spandex or any of those.
100%. We are popping
latex wouldn't be latex, would it?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
That's weird.
We are popping into the local dress agency because I wanted to demonstrate something. We were pondering the window earlier and it wasn't open, and we thought, well, it's open now, so let's pop in. Now, this dress agency is a ladies-only dress agency. They do all accessories, they do clothing, etc.
Just to clarify, men are allowed in, but they don't sell menswear. That's what you mean. It's not ladies only.
And they work on a commission basis, so you bring in your goods and you get 50-50 back with the thing. However, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get authentic goods. This here is a double-sided wallet from, it says it's from Louis Vuitton.
It's actually from someone in China.
It is non-authentic.
The lining isn't something that Louis don't even make.
We always suggest that you should look in dress agencies for items to resell, and we still stick by that. However, if you're not comfortable with authentication on spot, or you're not comfortable enough to make a purchase without authentication, then please don't. Obviously, we're always happy to authenticate items, but some things you can sort of check on the internet if you feel need to. This was 175 and non-authentic, and then next door was this for £69, which I recall...
This really annoys me because the first one we picked up, apart from the lining, there was a few tells if you know what you're looking at, but it's not an obvious fake. This thing I'm holding right now is honestly, like, I wouldn't pay £5 off a street vendor in, like, on the floor in, like, Spain or Rome or something like that.
That's a proper turkey fake.
It's a real atrocity of what... I can't even explain to you how that shouldn't be allowed in there. I'm not going to go on a rant because I feel some kind of way because they have some lovely things like that bag there. I think it was up for 100 and something there. Honestly, is very is it the softy range? What's the softy range?
It's called the tabby.
Mulberry's called the softy. I think they're called the softies, aren't they? They're like this over kind of like puffed, padded. Yeah, they're really, really nice. Anyway, that bag retails about £400-500 and it was 100 and something. So they had some really good pieces. The problem is, once again, this is no disrespect to the shop owner or the people who run the shop, but when these things get through, it's very hard for your average Joe to kind of buy, I don't know, with confidence. That's what I'm saying, you know?
I'm currently looking at some golden gooses. I have a golden goose issue in terms of the fact that I buy too many. These weren't my size, however, they are I really want a pair of the duct tape ones.
For anyone who maybe hasn't seen like this extreme of a golden goose before, so the marking on the side, the gaffer tape, all that is actually done by the factory. That's the look. If you Google golden goose, it's just not a thing.
This is a real shame. These are authentic Louis Vuittons. They're really nice, actually.
1000% genuine.
Gorgeous shoe. However, you can see in Austin's hand there is a card. This is fake. The card, it doesn't belong with the shoes.
So what's happened here is there's there's a card which is obviously from a fake, and I'm guessing loosely it was given with something else, and there's also their brown paper bag, kind of like the store bag. So I'm guessing they've tried to put these items with the pair of shoes, maybe to make it look more legit, not realizing that authentic shoes don't come with that card. Once again, like this is kind of the things you see in dress agencies all the time, or you'll see kind of. They'll try and put a tag, like if they have, like, for example, an old Mulberry tag, they'll put that on a newer item to make it look like it's got tags. When if you actually know the references or which eras they're from, you'll see that they differ. That doesn't necessarily mean the item's fake. Once again, the Louboutin don't come with those cards ever. No matter who you are or where you bought them from, they never ever come with those cards. The only time they come with those cards if you buy them from Chinese sites or knockoff shops or whatever else. Those shoes, however, were 1,000% genuine. So once again, for most people who maybe know I'm sure you've heard that information from me, like I said, this it's a factual. They don't come with the cards. You'd see that with the card and think, oh, they're fake. So they're actually doing themselves a disservice, in my opinion.
It's hard for us as resellers, but also, you know, specialists in the field, because we get a lot of messages saying, oh, you should tell the charity shops, you should tell the shops. 100%, but 80 to 90% of the time they don't care.
They don't care. Don't listen. The attitude is honestly it's just a bit too much.
And it's also not our jobs really to do that.
No.
I mean, we can teach you and we can teach anyone else as well as we can to spot those things, but it's not necessarily our jobs to, you know,
no. Do you know what grinds my gears, and maybe Bethany won't say, but I will, is the amount of times we've said to people, this goes for charity shops too, this is a Gucci box, brand new season actually, like last season
lovely,
or so.
Actually, £15.
£15, but it's an empty box, sadly enough. But what was I saying? Yeah, what kind of grinds my gears is the fact that you'll offer your experience or your knowledge, and say, if you ever need anything, just drop me a message. Oh yeah, no, thanks, we're fine, thank you, it's just fine. You're clearly not. You're openly selling fakes, and not that. If a charity shop does it, cool, move on. They're not pretending to be.
Yes.
But when you're in a situation where, I don't know, they really, really, really shouldn't be passing those on, and
it's difficult. It's a difficult one. Anyway, this is a Paul Smith shirt. The striped Paul Smith shirts do really well because that's their classic logo.
Yep.
They also have the denim as well. £15 a piece.
This one was a little bit cheaper, I think, wasn't it? That was 12, yeah, sorry.
12, oh, so.
And the 15 was the striped, you are right.
Yeah, 7 actually.
Was it?
Oh,
that was a big difference. There was different,
bargain.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't a bargain, but this is a cool shirt. This is a Visu. Once again, if anyone doesn't know, a Visu, they're the jeans which look like they have funny McDonald's signs on the back. And yeah, they're really popular in the year 2000. They're really popular again now, thanks to the whole kind of big denim, vintage denim, savage denim boom. But this is one of the pieces from like maybe 2000, maybe 2005-ish. When they did a lot of that kind of like
they do
pattern
okay,
print.
Don't they? The Visu as a brand does fantastically, but so there's certain pieces that sort of like breach the
like what big money you mean?
Yeah, so like the denim does really well.
Denim with painted logos, denim with like embroidered maybe logos is a little bit less, but still do really well. The jackets, like you can make good money on jackets if you find a jacket. So just keep.
And also the jeans with all the pockets. They're jeans and they have loads and loads of pockets on them.
Yeah, they do really well. The only problem is that they were kind of on the cusp of people starting fakes and doing a lot of kind of better quality fakes. So you get a lot of those in fakes because it was like mad, yeah.
That's very interesting. Thank you, Austin, for your expertise on a Visu.
No problem.
Anytime. Menswear was slightly better in the show than women's wear. So this brand I put on Instagram. It's called Howling.
Howling, and that was made of towelling.
They have the long sleeve. It very much reminds me of To Touch, if anyone's aware of Olabar Brown. It has that vibe, right?
Yeah, I don't know what you mean, but I totally know what you mean. Like you mean the actual like the
style. I imagine that's Olabar Brown in the winter.
The curtain, yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, even the jumper.
The knits were made this knit we picked up as well was made in Scotland, and that's a wool knit, and the other one was Towelin. We've listed the Howlin, the blue, the wool knit for 100, and the other one, the Towelin, we bought as well for £10.
Yeah.
We've listed that for 80. It appears it has like a cult following. They sell it on end.com if anyone's familiar with End. It's a sort of streetwear.
But for premium brands, like high-end brands.
Yeah, I call it a hipster brand. Like it's like a...
Yeah, it is.
You know...
They have a few stores now. I think one in Manchester, maybe one in Newcastle randomly, but... Yeah, Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
And these stores are like, oh, they're amazing. They're like...
Gorgeous, right?
Yeah, if Harrods did streetwear.
Yes. Anyway, so we purchased both of those. We did come back for them at a later time, e.g. 10 minutes after we filmed the video, and we went back to get them.
Well, no, to be honest, once again, it's something we didn't know a huge amount about. I'd heard of the brand roughly, but I didn't know like what the resale was. Mm-hmm. Once again, just because it has a high-end retail doesn't mean it resells well.
Yes, 100%.
So you have to check that before you buy.
100%. This is an Oliver Spencer coat, blazer.
£40.
Overcoat. £40. It has got a high retail. It's not another one of those brands that you do see a lot of in TK Maxx. So I like to be a bit more cautious about what pieces I pick up from those sorts of brands so that there's no crossover there. These are Common Projects. Common Projects is a trainer brand. We sold loads of these, didn't we?
Loads and loads and loads. They come in loads of different colours, loads of different fabrics. They're the kind of OG white, all white colourway. How much were they? £90?
90 quid, yeah.
Holy majoli.
Yeah. They were boxed but used. I would I sold the last two pairs.
Used.
I sold the last two pairs at 150 a piece. So there is a bit of money in them.
Bear in mind though, those are supposed to come like white, crispy, fresh.
Yeah, they're like
they were used. We're not talking about the kind of the style we were talking about earlier, like the Golden Goose, where they're kind of beaten up to start with.
No, those are normally they're new. They're meant to be new. They're meant to be crispy. I mean, there's money in them. I'm not gonna, there's money in them, but they're margins.
£90.
Yeah, 150. I do. You wouldn't double up.
No, I'm saying that's just.
It depends on your business plan. They do sell quite quickly. I would say that.
Yeah, maybe.
All right.
No, I just think that's a silly buy. More so not for you buying it, but I think that's terrible price.
This is actually really smexy, if you will. This is Elizabeth and James.
Tell them about the brand.
Elizabeth and James. This is £7. I have listed it for 110. Elizabeth and James is an American brand owned and designed by Mary Kate and Ashley Olsen, and it is the sister brand to The Row. It's not the sister brand to The Row. It's another company that they have, but it's no relation to The Row. The Row is their main line or whatever, and it is extremely high end. The Row is a brilliant brand, and Austin found this because he has good eyes.
I'm a digger. Belts, scarves, ties, anything you fancy, just dig on in, because eventually, you know what, most people haven't bothered. That's what I find.
Yes, 100%.
So when you actually do this, there's probably something to find.
So why I'm looking at a vintage Columbia for £25, which is actually really nice, £25, pricey. Yep. Austin is killing the game with a Moschino wool scarf. I think it's lambswool.
Yeah, it is lambswool.
It's got the classic spell out there, which they vary from collection to collection. But it was £7, which is obviously an absolute bargain. I haven't listed this one yet, but I'll be sure to put some little compos in for you to have a browse in. Return to the scene of the crime there.
Always go back to the scene of the crime, guys. That's the key. It's
been a slightly longer video today. Sorry if we are a bit tired. We've been out of the country all day.
Let everyone know what time it is we're actually recording this.
I think
knock down that fourth wall.
I think it's 9:30, and it's going to go out straight away.
Are you high? It's not 9:30, is it? It's later than that.
Yeah, because we're a bit.
It's 11 o'clock.
Oh my god!
You nutter! Yeah.
Oh my goodness! Oh, I got to upload this. See ya. Bye.